Hey guys, Yos here. Today we're going to be going over the portfolio for the week. To start off, we can take a look at the S&P weekly performance. So you can see technology down quite a bit, which obviously is going to be not very lovely for the portfolio, but for our main portfolio, which is on Composer, although there are some other sectors that actually did pretty decent. You can see kind of the right side of the heat map here. Mostly healthcare, I would say, did the best, followed by something like utilities and a little bit of consumer staples. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So basically, for the week, we're down about 8.5%, which obviously isn't amazing. We're down to $63,317. So yeah, kind of sucks because I think this is the second week in a row that we've been kind of down quite a lot. So we could take a look here how that looks on the good old 30-day chart. 30 days, we're down about 10%, 10.5%. And we're currently in a drawdown of, I want to say something like, yeah, 13%. I believe that's right. Yeah, I gotta fix this, but about, you know, about almost 14%. So there's that. Um, If we take a look here on each of the individuals, so you can see Composer down about 10%, 10.7% for the week. M1 was actually up 2.51%. And then Webull was up a astounding 75%. And I will get into that one, which is pretty crazy. But if we take a look here, you can see, first of all, if we take a look here, we're actually just above SPY still for the year. Obviously, June here, we have a couple days left, so maybe it turns around quite a bit, but I don't know if we're going to be able to recover 14% in just a few short days, Monday and Tuesday. So, I've seen some pretty crazy moves, but I don't know. We can take a look at the futures market later in this video to see, if NASDAQ is jumping crazy, but we're still up for the year on SPY, which is good. And the good news is, I mean, even if we're not beating SPY, we're not below, we're not losing money for the year. We're actually still up, so that's the good news. Moving on into here, you can see here how negative the week was. So down about 0.3%, then down about almost 6.6%, down pretty much 0.8%, but and up 1.67% and then down 2.59%, unfortunately. But moving on to the actual portfolio, so you can see here in Composer we have $53,952.41, and the majority of that, 80%, is still in TQQQ, followed by 10% in QQQ and 10% into SPY. So there we go. I will go into what the RSI is showing us a little bit later. But yeah, I still feel confident in tech. I still think it's going to do very good. So we'll just have to come and see. But yeah, looking forward to it going up, obviously. Go into the M1 Finance portfolio. We can see here that we actually had pretty good growth. So on financials, which is MasterCard and Visa, both positive there. Technology, Microsoft was actually down, but also not as down as I was thinking it was going to be. I think it actually did pretty well on Friday. Healthcare, like I said, did very good. So Vertex up 8.79%. Consumer discretionary also did very good, 4.36% on Home Depot. Consumer staples, unfortunately, Procter & Gamble down almost 1%, and then real estate, AMT, down about 0.26%. In terms of activity here, we received no new dividends. And then in terms of holdings, we're actually above that. Vertex is positive. So depending on how tomorrow goes, I might actually end up selling this and moving it into Composer because our portfolio is down over there. This is positive. I said if it would go up, above 10%, I would sell it. So I might, but Visa very close to being positive again. You have Home Depot and Procter & Gamble around the 4 to 5% range, so not too bad. The other last three aren't doing very hot. Microsoft down almost 16%, which is kind of insane, but it is what it is. Technically, unrealized gain for these portfolio or these assets here are only down 5%, so it's honestly not too bad. And then Webull, which was the crazy mover this week, literally every day was positive. So started Monday with 5%, Tuesday with almost 10%, Wednesday almost 20%, Thursday almost 20%, and then Friday for 7% again. So you can see how that looks on the graph at $843.81. So we're actually only down about $431, which comes out to about 33% down. So not too bad. We were 90% at one point or 85% or something crazy. So very excited that that's going up. Though, again, well, first of all, there was a couple of things that happened this week that possibly made this go up. One is an inverse ticker, which has to do with a technology company, if you want to call it that. So that's one thing. Second thing is there was some weird MSTR stuff going on. I didn't read too much into it, but I know there was some negative news to come out this week, so that's probably what drove majority of the performance. As well as you can see here, Bitcoin is actually under 60K, so that helped a lot as well. But now that we're on the futures page here, we can see here that NASDAQ is about up. Well, again, this is the Sunday futures market, so take this with a grain of salt, but about up about 0.5%. So that would entail with a TQQQ, maybe 1.5%. So unfortunately, not the growth that I was hoping that we'd go into Monday, because chances are that actually might turn negative, but we'll see. You can see here how it looks on a data grade graph. As I mentioned last week, the thing I am the most afraid of is actually just chop, and that's starting to look like we're heading potentially towards that direction again. But hopefully, goes up. I don't. Excuse me. I don't know what else to say except I hope it goes up, obviously. So we'll see kind of how that does. But yeah, it's kind of a short video today. Unfortunately, there's not a ton of things to kind of look out for here, except that market's not doing too hot in terms of the technology sector. In fact, if we go back over here and select QQQ as the metric, so for the week, SPY was down about 2.33%, and QQQ is down about 4.52%. So just normal unleveraged QQQ didn't do very hot in general. So yeah. But anyways, guys, that is it from me. And as always, I wish you guys a wealthy future.